Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, O Lord.
After Jesus had spoken, a Pharisee invited him to dine at his home. He entered and reclined at table to eat. The Pharisee was amazed to see that he did not observe the prescribed washing before the meal. The Lord said to him, "O you Pharisees, although you cleanse the outside of the cup and the dish, inside you are filled with plunder and evil. You fools! Did not the maker of the outside also make the inside? But as to what is within, give alms, and behold, everything will be clean for you." Sisters and brothers, the Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Please be seated.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. There was a Catholic philosophy teacher who in his class was known to be someone who is not just a skeptic of the faith, but even considered to be an atheist. Bakit? Ay sobra talaga kumaglambas sa pananampalataya ng mga Kristiyano sa kanyang klase. He was throwing all of the questions that he could think of. So his students were so amazed of the questions that he was throwing that sometimes nobody could really give an answer. Kaya nga nakoconsider siyang hindi yata talaga Kristiyano ito eh. Atheist yata ito. But at one time, his students were surprised because they saw him entering the church, making the sign of the cross, kneeling and praying. So his students were so confused that after praying, the students approached him and asked, "Sir, how do you do it? How do you do it? That in class, you have many questions about the faith, but you could still go inside the church and pray." And he said, "It's so easy. It's so easy. This is how I do it. Before I enter the church, before I enter the doors of the church, I leave behind my philosophy." Sabi niya ganon. I leave behind my philosophy. Napakaganda nung sagot niya, no? But then I ask, in reality, could our faith be really something like that? Could our faith really be something like a slip-on or a wearable? Na pwede kong hubarin yung aking pananampalataya, depende sa lugar. Kapag nasa loob ako ng simbahan, ay tsaka ko isusuot yung aking pananampalataya. Pero pag nasa labas na ako ng simbahan, pwede ko nang hubarin ulit. Ganon ba yung pananampalataya natin? In the Filipino philosophy, there is that concept of loob. Kilala natin yung loob na yon bilang mga Pilipino. Alam natin yung loob na yon. And in that study, kapag sinabi ng Pilipino loob, it means not only what is inside of the person, but it talks about the whole person, kabuuan. It has a holistic concept kapag sinabi ng loob. Kaya nga kapag may mga salita tayong pinagsama doon sa salita na loob, hindi lang yung loob ng tao ang pinag-uusapan natin, yung buong pagkatao. Halimbawa, matapang ang loob. Hindi ibig sabihin nun yung loob lang yung matapang. Matapang talaga yung tao na yan. Matapang ang loob. Matibay ang loob. O, hindi lang yung loob ang matibay nun. Kahit anong unos pa yung kaharapin ng tao na yan, kahit ilang virus pa yung kaharapin ng tao na yan, matibay talaga siya as a whole person. Maitim ang loob. Iba naman yun, ano? Hindi lang yung loob yung masama dun, buong pagkatao. Laman loob. Hindi ko alam kung anong laman loob. But the concept is that, kapag sinabing loob sa Pilipino, kabuuan ng pagkatao. And I think, in our gospel today, what Jesus is challenging the Pharisee is his loob. Because it seems the Pharisee does not have a loob. Ibig sabihin, hindi holistic yung kanyang pagkatao pagdating sa pananampalataya. There seems to be a gap between his practice and between the true faith that his heart or his loob should have. Paano nasabi ng ating Panginoong Hesukristo yun? Remember, the Pharisee was amazed because Jesus did not wash his hands. Jesus did not follow the ritual of washing. For the Pharisee, it was something very important that he could even lambast people. He could even put down people and judge people just because of that. Parang wala namang problema, no? Yun yung nasa batas nila eh. But then, look at this. Remember the situation, the geographical location of this? Nasa disyerto po sila. Nasa disyerto po sila. Ibig sabihin, there is a scarcity of water. Hindi abundant ang tubig. Hindi pareho sa ating nasa Pilipinas, araw-araw kahit 3 beses ka maligo, walang problema. Sa kanila, there is a scarcity of water. Those who can afford have that opportunity to make the ritual of washing. What about the poor ones? Paano yung mga mahihirap na hindi makakuha o makabili ng tubig? Eh di hindi sila makahugas, hindi sila makagawa ng ritual ng washing. What does the Pharisee do? Instead of understanding the situation, instead of being charitable to the poor ones, which is a call, by the way, of their faith, he puts them down. He casts them out. He judged them as sinners. Biruin niyo yun. Parang nadapa na nga yung mahirap. Tinadyakan pa, dinuraan pa. Parang ganun yung ginawa ng Pharisee. But for him, he was doing everything, which for him is faith. But then for Christ, there is that duplicity there. Walang unity. Walang unity sa pagkatao niya, sa pananampalataya niya. Kaya nga, Jesus was pointing out to him, did not the Maker made the outside in the inside of the person? Why is it that there is somehow a gap between the external and the internal? That was his question to the Pharisee. That was his challenge to the Pharisee. To have a faith that is whole, merong loob na buo. How does this relate to us? I think the challenge of Jesus is the same. He challenges the Pharisees like that. He is also challenging us that way. And if I could point it, I think Jesus is challenging us to have a Kristong loob. A Kristong loob. Hindi ibig sabihin nun, yung Kristo natin, yung nasa sa loob lang. Hindi rin ibig sabihin nun, yung Kristo natin, yung nakikita lang sa labas. We should be Christ as a whole, as a loob. Na pag nakita tayo ng mga tao, ang impression nila, ang nararamdaman nila sa atin, Kristo. Ang nakakasalamuha nila, Kristo. Kapag ganun na yung nararamdaman natin, kapag ganun na yung napapakita natin, meron tayong Kristong loob. Kaya nga mga kapatid, don't be satisfied by just holding the rosary or just by entering the church or just by having a pilgrimage or just because you are sprinkled of the holy water. Huwag nating sabihin na okay na tayo sa ating pananampalataya. When we know deep inside, Christ is not yet present in us. Na wala pa talagang Kristong loob sa atin. We can only say that we are okay and we are blessed if we know that we have Christ in us through and through.